Oh.
All right.
It's a behold kind of wind down Wednesday today. We were feeling uber proud for our HBCU in the Tidewater area, the great the great Norfolk State University. Give it up for one time for the Spartans. Spartans
Behold the green and gold.
in the goal. I was telling these students, right? I was helping a friend of mine. She wanted me to talk to some of her students about the love and necessary and what I learned about going to a HBCU.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling them like one of the things that HBCUs will give you is some motherfucking pride. Okay,
Definitely.
your team could be 0-15, and then you will be in that stadium screaming like them niggas about to win the MEAC. You not gonna talk bad about my school. No, you ain't. No, sir. You got that pride. You got it. Melissa's got it. I be forgetting we can't sing R. Kelly sometimes. I feel like if I don't sing the words, it's okay. Like if I make up my own words, I just use this melody. You know what I'm saying? That'd be kind of like dope. Melissa's got it. Just start throwing names in there. Takesha's got it.
Oh my god.
Yo, welcome to Wind Down Wednesdays.
Yes,
I
you
mean,
guys, I'm still getting Instagram set up.
they're
So
gonna Wind Down Wednesdays. I am your struggling co-host, Antoine.
and I'm Natasha Renee.
you know, it seems like we got a really interesting topic today, right?
I think so. I hear a little echo before.
It might be me. It might
Okay.
be me.
I
Hold
just
on.
want to make sure.
Might be me. Hold on to me.
Y'all know I'm a super producer over here too. So
Yeah. What about now?
say it again.
What about now?
Oh, you good. You good. You good. We good over here. All right. Perfect.
So we'll talk about something. It's been called many things, right?
Women's intuition.
Not that one.
I mean,
Y'all
I feel
could
like
Your intuition can tell you when you with something wrong, but your intuition can't tell you when I need some loving. Make it make sense.
that's a whole different
Make
topic.
it
But
make sense.
oh,
Okay. Um, some call it intuition. We're gonna say regular intuition. Uh spiritual
gut,
moment. I like that one, right? Spiritual moment.
that gut feeling.
Gut. Ugh. In the gut. We don't listen to our gut.
Nah,
You know, some say, hey, God was talking to me. God was talking to me the
yeah,
other day. The only
God's
problem
always
with
talking to me.
the only problem with God talking to folks is that sometimes people need like God to speak to you in stereo before they hear you, or they need like that burning bush moment. They need something extravagant, right? Sometimes God is talking to you. He say, "Hey, yo, the weatherman on TV said all your neighborhood gonna flood. Get the fuck up out of there." You know what I'm saying?
Then people gonna think you crazy.
I'm just saying, God ain't always, this big ass, extension level event when he talking to you. Sometimes he talking to you in the ways of a roach come across your coffee table. Like, oh, you need to move. You need to move.
High danger.
Um,
Sorry, keep going.
is she here? We got the chat people in here. Let me see.
He
Who's up
asked
in the
if
building
this was
early?
a pre-recorded. We like,
Gee, early, early. That's I love it.
but
Okay.
yeah, that moment when God speaks to you.
So whatever you call it, the most common name is an epiphany.
Yes.
I like to call it that light bulb moment.
Okay.
um, but whatever you call it, clarity come at your ass at light speed. Would you say that's correct?
I call it a epiphany, but yes, yes, it's that.
Now,
But it is that light bulb moment because when it happens, it hits just like that. Like, hold
now
on,
this is what messes people up. When that happens, it doesn't have to be loud.
no, no.
It's very rarely as dramatic as we make it seem.
Mm-hmm.
But what it is just purely undeniable. That's it. You can't lie to yourself about it. It's happening. And the more you fight it, the harder it feels.
Yes,
Right? Like when it really finally gets you and you done put up all that fight and then you tired from when it fights because you spend so much time fighting, when it hits you this time, it's like a fucking roundhouse kick to the face. Because you
I
don't got no armor up. You don't got no more armor up.
no. I remember I always say, I had that moment when I moved out here, right? Um, I felt it a little bit like maybe I should move to Florida. I was going back and forth, but then it was like where? And then, I started hanging out here a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I always say, Nina, my friend Nina, we the repast party. That
Right.
that that was but that was when the moment happened.
Fell in love in a crazy place.
But
Fell in love in a
before
crazy
before that
place.
moment happened,
Right.
she mentioned, she was like, "Have you ever thought about moving down here?" And I had
Mm.
just signed my lease that February
Right.
to my um warehouse apartment, like first year in. But then I kept thinking about it because even when I signed it, I was like, maybe I should have looked at Florida, but I didn't know where I wanted to go yet. And so when she said it, it was like,
This was before the job was talking about sending you to Florida too,
yes.
right?
Now that's when I was about to say the job was that gut feeling because at that point the job was saying, in order for us to hire you,
Mm-hmm.
you got to move to Massachusetts, either Boston or Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was kind of like, hold on, this is not my time. I wanted to make, that
Mm-hmm.
decision. And then it was like, I need you to tell me in 2 weeks what you're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
But then stuff went down. But then that was the press when I started, pushing. I started coming down here looking at places and stuff like that because
Mm-hmm.
I was actually supposed to move to Gainesville.
Gainesville.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah.
They still hanging niggas out in Gainesville? It's fucking Florida, man. Oh no. All right. So today's topic, guys, is that great epiphany.
Yeah.
Um, we say that it's undeniable. Um, the term is once you see it, you can't unsee it type thing. Can't pop the genie
Mhm.
back in the bottle. But we ignore it sometimes, don't we?
We do. We
Why?
really do.
Why? Why do we why do why do we say, oh no, that ain't it?
The fear. I always feel like it's that fear. It's that fear of taking a step out of the comfort zone, right? We get so
Mm,
comfortable being in our spaces because it could be work, you know what I'm
mhm,
saying? It doesn't have to be a move. It could be work, it can be relationships, it can be friendships, it can be anything.
mm,
That discomfort of either saying something or trying something new, we get so comfortable in our spaces that when we have these epiphanies or when God or that light bulb moment, we struggle with, okay, I
mhm.
hear you, I know it, but I'm scared to do it.
Okay. You know, you bring up a good point with that. But I guess until you understand the reason why you're having this epiphany, you're always going to fight against it, because typically these epiphanies are stuff like, okay, you've outgrown this relationship or this
Yep.
friendship.
Yep.
Your ass definitely been avoiding something.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy on the avoidance kit. Ooh, settling. When you realize you settled.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Or if you're lucky enough, if you're honest with yourself enough, am I the drama?
Or seeking help. Yeah. Or seeking help. That too.
Right. I'm the drama. If you've never said that to yourself, you still got a lot of work to do.
I know I'm a whole red flag at. I, I told you the first day he was like,
Listen,
"You are
listen.
toxic," and I was like,
This red flag got green handles. Okay, just hold on tight. Hold on tight. Don't let go.
"That part."
You're gonna love it over here.
Oh no, I'm a good person.
You
I
love it
just
over here.
it's but it's the fear. It's the fear. That's what it is. That fear of taking a chance.
Well, then it's you got the embarrassment of it too, though,
And I
because
wanted
you
to
know better.
yeah, because
You know better. You knew better. You just ain't do better. You knew better, but you chose to not do better, yo.
but I feel like too, because we choose not to, that's where the embarrassment comes from us not listening
Oh
and
yeah, I totally
when
agree.
everything just fall
You know,
apart.
you know what my I wasn't listening shit. It it came in the form of a massive panic attack in the middle of the street.
Oh, yeah, can we talk about? I remember you did discuss that before our newcomers and this new in the moment, and we're not talking about dating. You know
Right.
that. Can you do you mind revisiting that moment?
Yeah. So I had probably been wasting somebody's time for about 5 years. Just right, right, right person, wrong time. And I was still in a denial about a lot of shit that I had, just pushed through and pushed inside and kind of, I'm all right, I'm good. And so it started to eat away at the relationship to the point where you could tell she was starting to grow like resentment,
Mm-hmm.
but she wouldn't leave. Like she would low key just stay and torture me. Like she would just start chipping away at my access to her, and then when I try to like say what the fuck is going on, she'd be gaslighting the shit out of me, and she was punishing me, and
Mm-hmm.
I deserved it, because I wasn't a piece of shit. I just ain't never deal with my shit, right? And shout out to the ex before her who told me I would never be happy until I took care of my shit. And I told her, bitch, I'm fine. King rocks. But she was right. So this one particular holiday, we was it was St. Patrick's Day. We was all out with friends and drinking and shit because we had a similar friend circle, and we had really got into it. Like, and then plus you drunk, it was worse. And I'm out here trying to get her to acknowledge that she's treating me like shit,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't get it from her. And then like everybody around us kind of like was like they felt like they had to protect her. Like I'm like Antoine's a big bad wolf. He out here fussing at her in public and shit. And then I end up being very isolated. So I left, but I was too drunk to drive, so I'm walking. And I'm calling another friend of mine because I just need somebody to not make me feel like shit today. Right? I needed some love around me. So I'm calling another friend of mine and they answered. Thank God they answered. But as soon as they answered, it's just like I lost the ability to talk. I lost the ability to talk and I just started crying profusely. I'm in the middle of the street. I'm walking down the side of Union Station and I am bawling out my eyes and I can't talk. And I had to just sit on. I just had to sit down on the street, like on the curb. I had to sit down on the curb, and thank God, in the back of my mind, I remember. You ever heard of box breathing?
Yes.
I just kept doing that shit over and over, and eventually, I got the ability to get up and kind of just go. But whew, boy, I had never felt no shit like that. And it was only at that moment that I said, "Oh, I ain't got nothing left." She done stripped it all. Okay, you out here vulnerable now. You need to. It was almost like armor back up, but I needed
Hmm.
to do it in a good way. Like I needed to, because I'm totally exposed now. I'm raw, right? And I'm like, yo, I need to get some fucking help. I can't lie to myself no more. I need some help. So that was my big ass epiphany moment.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And nigga. It's just- so I closed out my 30s. It's just how, it's just how I closed out my 30s. Doing shadow work, baby. That's the y'all know the therapy. When you ready, you gotta do some shadow work, nigga. You gotta get all the way inside of yourself.
And I feel like that was my moment when I was in therapy, and for somebody to say it out loud, that I'm the issue
Mm,
and not anybody else, because it was always, why am I choosing the wrong person, or why is this always happening? And I remember, my do not sing the song, my therapist said I was a runner. She said that I would choose people that I knew it was easy to get out of those relationships, right?
mm-hmm.
I where I would find something and use the excuse that because they were doing something to get out. And it was so funny because the person who supported me in therapy was the person I had to get rid of.
Mm,
And that part was crazy because it wasn't anything serious. Like
mm-hmm.
we talked and I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere, right? But it
Right.
was just like, maybe I need to like really really settle, because the previous relationship, still doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that even trying to talk or get into this relationship, I knew it wasn't even worth even trying, because yes, it was going slow. It wasn't, no push or anything, but I seen all the red flags, and the red
Right.
flags were there. But I'm so used to, I'm going to hold on to all these red flags. And then when I'm ready to go, I'm just going to throw all your crap. I knew this. I knew that because I got all the evidence, playing
Right.
detective. And I remember being in therapy because something happened and I wasn't looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing. I was really on the iPad, and I be telling people, like, people be forgetting your iPad, your iPhone, and your iWatch, your
It's
Apple Watch
all together.
all together.
It's
So
on the cloud.
I'm just chilling, minding my business. Shout out to Mike Millions and them and that Grammy, that winning that Grammy. He was a part of that Mass Skills project. I seen
Mm,
he's on Instagram. So he was Norfolk State too. He went to Norfolk State from Richmond.
okay.
Yeah.
Might have by
He
face
came
then.
in. I know he came in. He was freshman. My freshman class.
Hmm.
But I re I remember I wasn't. I was pet sitting, minding my business, sitting there on the iPad because I forgot why I had to use it. And then the messages started like coming up.
Hmm.
And I knew the stuff was there. I knew it. I like it. It wasn't no doubt. I ignored everything. I
Hmm.
knew that um, it wasn't what it was. And sure enough, my therapist was like, "Well, what you gonna do?
Oh, what you gonna do?
It's
What
there.
you gonna do?
You don't want to be there. So are you gonna choose to stay just to stay, or you know?" Are you going to get out?
What do you think your hesitancy was connected to?
Um, what's crazy is there was no connection there. Like when I say we just dated, like we just dated. Like he liked me more than I liked him. I didn't like him at all.
No, no, no. Not how y'all were connected.
You talking about me
How
being
was what was connected to you not acknowledging what you felt like you should be, like
that's
that
that's
epiphany
that's
moment,
where
right?
I was getting because of the fact that I felt like
You justified the relationship
I
wasn't worth
justified
the
it.
emotional work.
I justified it because it was like everything was slow. It wasn't anything where it was no pressure. And what I
Hmm.
mean by pressure is, a lot of people are into stuff because they want to do stuff. But hell, if you're talking to everybody else, of course, I'm being not doing this and that because you're getting it from, everybody else that's around. So at that moment, it was just really how he is. And women, he is like that to everybody. So don't think you special. and and that was the thing because it was like, oh my gosh, she's a true gentleman. You know, you don't get this all the time.
Hmm.
He gets mad if you open the car door on your own. Like it was just like true, like, that
What do
though.
you feel was the settling part?
What you mean? I didn't like him. That was the
Uh,
other part.
got
I didn't
it.
like him at all.
Got
Didn't like him
it.
at all.
Okay. All right. So you have this epiphany.
Yes.
How did it feel?
It was that gut punch one. So when she said it, it it was at that moment where I'm like, you're right. Why am I here? We don't have any emotional ties. Like, what I'm saying? It was no nothing there except for, he was a
Princess
gentleman.
treatment.
Yeah, that part. And not even really, just true, chivalry. He was nice in those spaces. And when she said, like, why are you still there? I thought she was gonna try to help me fix the you can make it work. She was like, why?
So you had the gut punch,
Hmm.
and then you was like, "Oh shit!" Was any part of it felt freeing now that the punch happened?
It felt freeing because in that moment, right? Because
Hmm.
we in the moment. In that moment, and this really just came to me, I I realized that I didn't have to settle.
You have to define settling for the audience. Everybody has their different spectrum of
So
settling.
for, for me, settling is like there was no connection. Like we didn't have anything the only thing we had in common is that um we played sports.
Hmm.
That was it. We had nothing in common. Like I really forced myself to, and like he was affectionate, and that was it. He was very affectionate. But other than the affection and us like doing like outdoor activities and playing sports and playing basketball and playing football and all that stuff, it was it was nothing there.
Why you think he stayed?
He really liked me. He did. But then he was settling as well.
He
He
know you. He know you had that front porch box.
shut up. You know
I
what's
gotta
crazy?
remind you of that every now and then that you
What's
had him going
what's
crazy and
what's
drinking Kool Aid and
crazy
crying.
is I think we mentioned that. Please don't be on Facebook looking at these.
I'm
because
out here on a
we all
porch
went to high school. We
crying,
all went to high school together, and I think somebody in the
you
house.
lay slowly dying,
I
waiting for
think
you to come
stop it.
outside.
I think somebody mentioned in the house about that whole moment because that moment will always live with the whole family because everybody named Mama was at the house when that
That shit live real free in my head every time you talk about a nigga going crazy for you. I'm like,
happened. Um, but I feel
mm.
like he was settling as well. And what I mean by settling as well is he had no kids. My
Mm.
kids were not older, but old enough where most likely he knew I wasn't having any more kids. Um, and he really wanted kids.
Mm.
Like he really wanted kids. And I felt like he was settling because of my personality. You know, everybody say I'm a real nice person, and I think because of my personality and just the person that I am, and that's what I think too. That sometimes we think, oh, these are nice people, like you said. It's not about princess treatment, but like a true gentleman, you know, respectful, you
Mm.
know, people being respectful to your family or things like that. You know, we
Just
look
you
at
ain't
it.
out here getting in the world on a regular basis, right?
Yeah, and it's like he's not giving me no pressure, not putting pressure to me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like I'm obligated to do certain things. It was
Mm.
just chill. Not and because honestly, even on a friendship note, we weren't we didn't make good friends either because we had nothing. When I say nothing in common, we had nothing in common.
Mm.
We had nothing in common. What happened was
So
he
you justified staying. It's
I
not technically
justified
settling.
because what happened was when I used to play flag football, um, he ended up he was the one who told me about the flag football meetups. So I started going to flag football, and he was the only person that I knew on the flag football team because we went to school together.
Mm.
So it was, and again, I'm not like people have to understand when you invite me somewhere, I'm not thinking, oh, you're trying to talk to me or anything like that because it really wasn't that.
Hmm.
He didn't think I was going to show up.
What?
And I played flag football so much that I had cleats. Like I was really out there playing flag foot. I was the only female out there playing flag football.
Hmm.
So then it was like, oh, she cool. You know, so then, you know, we would kind of talk afterwards. And then he had asked me to go out. And then from there, that's when it was like, all right, I guess I can go out. And then we always see each other 2 days out the week anyway, because we playing sports together. So it was kind of like, well, you know, we see each other all the time.
Hmm.
You know, even when we went out to eat, um, I think we had went to like a food festival or something like that. And even when we went out, he just started asking me questions. He was like, "Oh, you cool, whatever, da da da." And I just was like, "Well, I see him all the time. I'm always in the house." So I mean, I guess let me see. Let me give somebody a chance because you know people always say like, well, sometimes you gotta give a person a chance. You never know. You know, you may like a certain thing, but you know, try something new. And that's how I
Right.
looked at it. Like, let me try something new. This is not the typical person that I was talk to. I
Hmm.
again, no pressure. He's very respectful, but nah, I didn't like him. Like, because when it ended, I
Hmm.
was good.
Not good though.
I was. I was upset with a lot of things, but it had nothing to do with that, you know. But as
Hmm.
far as like me being heartbroken, I wasn't heartbroken, you know, there was no feelings. And that may be the thing too, what my therapist was saying is that I get in these relationships that do not require me to have any Okay, well, Antoine is gone. So there you go. Oh, gone again. I can hear you. So I'll still talk. Um, I felt like I was getting in these relationships where I had to try to be affectionate. You know, I tried to give emotions and I'm forcing myself to like someone because maybe the things that I want or desire may not be out there. Are you close enough to respond, or do you want me to keep going? I guess I'll keep going. But I'll start shouting people out. You know, my cousin is on the line. I see she's on Instagram. You guys, everybody that's on Instagram, if you can go to our YouTube channel in the moment with Natasha Renee. That would be so great. Because the people on Instagram, if you do comment, we can't really see your comments on there. I can only see who is on, and I do know with Instagram there is a delay. While Antoine, you guys can probably hear is I don't know what you were doing, but yeah. Okay. Did you hear me? What was going on?
Uh, Parts of it, but
Oh,
right now me and my ISP is beefing. My ISP is beefing.
okay.
But go ahead, keep going. The
No,
crowd heard you.
I was just saying that out loud. I was saying that I found myself being in, look, it's so funny because Instagram is so behind, it's now going through, you going in and out, the delay. I'm watching it like you just went in and out. But I was just saying that I found myself getting in situations where I didn't have to really be emotionally connected.
Mm. The more you denied it, did it get louder and louder till you couldn't deny it?
The epiphanies or
Anytime that realization hit, like and you had been through a period of where you was not accepting the gut feelings, you weren't accepting the intuition, you weren't accepting God's word, whatever we call it, right?
it
Right?
it got louder.
It gets louder for you.
It gets very loud because I would even say the whole Orlando situation, like, oh my gosh, that what ooh, that one.
Mm.
And that was like two years of my time. Oh my gosh. That was interesting. Because again, that wasn't a situation that was still similar because it was a situation where I didn't want to be viewed as that girl, right? Because I talked about it how everybody was on the platform. Yeah, I did it, and then it was like, all right, I did it. No, I didn't. We.
So does does ego play a role in all of that sometimes?
It plays a big role for me. I don't know about for you. For me, it does play a big role because sometimes for me, image is everything, right?
Mm.
Um, I don't I don't really have those moments, and I have crashed and burned plenty of times. And I've made mistakes, but I find myself that when I make mistakes, like you said, being embarrassed because these mistakes are things that I already knew I shouldn't
Mhm.
have done. But it's like, all right, I'm already all in. Since I'm already all in, we might as well just go on this ride. And if we crash, we crash.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
but if it happens, hey, it's there.
Okay.
Yeah,
So ego can play
it does
a big
for
part.
me. Would
It
you
can
say
del-
that it does for you, or
Nah, I didn't. I knew my shit. That's the crazy part. I've always been like super self aware. I just said I was okay. That was
okay,
my justification. Yeah, I'm
okay,
fine. I just, I need some rest. I need some relax. I need some reset. I'll be all right. I push through. I used to push. I'm a pusher
okay,
through motherfucker, right? Because I didn't even know it was a problem. There's a lot of things I knew I was the problem of, but I didn't think that anything that caused it was a problem. Like I used to pride myself on being the asshole who was just extremely honest. Um, Not realizing how semi self destructive that was. Um, And the more someone wanted to be close to me, the more I built fences, because I felt like the real me they wouldn't really want. They wanted the version of me that made them comfortable, made them laugh, made them have a good time. Not the scared little kid in me that's still reaching out for somebody to pull his hand. You know what I'm saying? So I would never say it was ego for me. It was more avoidance.
I feel like I made excuses, you know, and I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't happy. And and that's the thing, like, right? And that was another reason why I wanted to go away from the dating podcast, because in those moments I was not happy. I was just a smiling on camera. I knew everything was wrong. I wasn't happy. I wasn't myself. But I'm like, I gotta push through because I put myself in the situation. So I have to try to fix it instead of getting out.
Okay. Hmm. So the first time you felt this shift was when? Florida?
Meaning, which shift? Because we've been talking about dating, we've been talking about life. You know, which shift of? I mean, overall, I would say the shift was Florida. It because even um when Nina asked me about the move, right? Everything was real quiet in my life. Wasn't nothing going on. It was
Mm.
just me. I had nobody to use the excuse on, I'm moving for love, I'm moving for relationships. I wasn't in anything. It was just me.
All by
Uh,
yourself.
all by myself. And I had been in that space for a while, because even with everything that was going on, I had started going to Jacksonville, and I had stopped going to Orlando at like one point. I remember, like, it was one point where I hadn't been out there in like 3 months, you know.
Mm.
Um, so when things ended, it still had ended way before that moment,
Uh-huh.
where we had the conversation and we talked, and I said I was done, you know. But yeah, when I started going on my own, I started building my support system, my tribe, you
Mm.
know, even outside of that, I felt the difference of being in Richmond and when I would go out there. And I know sometimes temporarily some things are, oh, you visit, you vacation. It's a difference between vacation and
I
it's
tell people that all the time.
between living somewhere.
Living somewhere 24/7 and being there for 48 hours is a whole different ball game, yo.
Yep. I knew that. So that's where my hesitation was, as far as doubting, well, nah, maybe I need to stay because that's a huge move. It's a big move. It's a big
Mm-hmm.
move, because Philly, Jersey, Virginia, that's an easy car ride back and forth, right? So I'm like, now I'm going to be too far away.
Mm.
Now I'm going to be further away from what I know. Now I'm going to be further away from my comfort zones.
Can't have big fun with the ratchets.
So
So far
with
away.
so with that, I really thought about it, because even what did it was, I talked about that moment, and I think at that time my son was already in college. But right before that, when he had to decide what school he wanted to go to, that was another moment where it came. That was like when it originally came up, right?
Mm-hmm.
My son was like, he chose the school in Florida because my mom is always here.
Facts.
So then that's when I said, okay, let's use my child as the another reason or an excuse. Once he gets past his sophomore year, if he's still out here, I can be more comfortable with making the move.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Well, we're making some headway here. Let's get it. Let's open it up a little bit. So, at what point did the discomfort become pain? Because you've been trying to avoid the discomfort, right? Because that's what we stay in our comfort zone for the to avoid the
mhm.
discomfort, right? And then if ultimately if it's undeniable, it's not discomfort no more. It's full on pain,
Okay.
right? I mean, tell me. I'm not sure for your story. Like,
So
did,
with the move, because we're talking about the move, because even with dating, it never really is a whole bunch of epiphanies, right? So let's talk about an epiphany that actually made sense, that
okay,
actually has a results behind it, right? You
because
know,
you're in Florida now, right?
yeah, I'm in Florida now.
Right.
Set up, you don't see the big windows no more.
No
Okay,
big
big
windows.
windows, no big
No,
space, and
no
and
bridge
echo,
views.
no big.
No bridge views.
Ah, I feel like my job had called me, right, and said, all right, Gainesville, I remember going out there looking at a townhome out there and was starting to put everything in place. And I was like, all right, now mind you, I wanted to move before my job told me about the move,
Hmm.
right? And then there came a point where there was silence with work. It was like literally this impromptu phone call
Hmm.
with my director telling me, we about to move you, this about to go quick, to complete silence. Then it's like, with rentals and leases, I need to know these
Right.
things. Am I like, are y'all gonna move me down here? Are y'all, because that was the thing. She was had to try to give me a bonus because technically I was a temp going into a permanent position, and technically they wanted someone already out in Gainesville. So she's trying to figure out how we gonna get this move done, whatever, da da da. And then she ended up leaving the company.
Hard stop. Okay.
Complete hard stop. But then I had to go back and realize that was not the reason why I was moving.
Why
My
were you?
job, because I knew I had to go there. I knew
Right.
I had to be down here. I knew that the epiphany, my God moment, I knew that God, for me, I felt like God called me to be down here.
Okay.
So now it's all right, Gainesville, you didn't want to live there anyway. You know, now you have to decide, is this really, was this guy, now I'm starting to doubt things. And then my friend, he had told me to look at a certain area. And when I looked at certain areas, when he was telling me, to look at certain areas, I started looking because he was like, I feel like this is more your speed and the things that you like.
Hmm.
And then when I started looking, I was like, oh, I like this. And literally, this was September of 24. And my director, I think she may have left maybe April ish,
Hmm.
April, May. September 2024, I told my daughter. So my daughter was the one who found my place.
Yeah, you told me about that. I was about to ask you. That's you still in that apartment, right? The one
Yeah,
she found,
yeah.
right? Okay.
So what I did was I told her to start looking in the area. Like if y'all ever need somebody, my daughter be on point. What's up? Hey, she would get you where you need to be. So I found places and I told her based off of my budget and what I didn't want to go over, because I did. I told her this is the amount I don't want to go over this
Who got
amount.
a budget in Florida?
I mean, the cost of living is so much cheaper here,
I know. That's what I'm saying.
but I
But
still
it's still
didn't want
fucking
to.
Florida, man. God
But
damn.
I still didn't want to pay what I was paying in Virginia, and I didn't need all that space, right? You get what I'm saying? Like I
You
could
were
have.
grossly overpaying in Richmond.
I stayed downtown. I wasn't. I wasn't even
Was you
honestly.
downtown though? You was on this side of the bridge.
I was on Eighth. I mean, I was right there, but put it like this: the apartments that were literally across the street from me, I think, were the my square footage
you,
was
sh-
at least.
you should see how many more buildings they done added over there since then.
Oh, I know they were building them. I literally watched the apartment across the street get built, literally from the ground up. I think it was probably $500 more than what I was paying. The same square footage, and I think my place was a little bit bigger because even this place here is bigger than my place in Richmond. It doesn't seem like it, but it's bigger as far as square footage, and I still pay less
And you
than.
got more walls probably.
No, it's more storage because living in
No,
a
I'm
warehouse.
talking about why you say it's bigger, but it might not look like it because you got
Yeah,
more
oh yeah, the
walls.
walls, yeah, yeah. It's about I think Richmond, it was like 1,060 square feet that I had, and here it's like 1,200 square feet. So yeah.
All right. So let me ask you this.
I was hold on, I was getting to
Oh,
it.
okay, my bad.
Yeah, so I had, my daughter told her to pick her top three. Then I had my son go on the tour with me on Facebook.
hmm
And after he finished the tour, I said, "This is the place." And um
I remember that.
I
You was.
ended my lease a couple of
Mm,
months early because I didn't want to get caught in the snow.
mm,
And even with my apartment, it was easy because it was only technically I left here end of November. So I was, February-ish, December-ish. So it wasn't an issue with terminating my lease or anything,
mm.
you know. But yeah.
Have you ever felt like you have? Well, I mean, I guess you kind of have in a certain way, but the, I, le- have you ever overridden your intuition? Hard veto.
Meaning like
You
meaning
know what you know what your gut was telling you, and you said, "Nah, that can't be right." I don't agree with that. Nah, that
I
can't
would
be it. That's not
I would
it.
say I would say this. Younger me, yes, right?
Okay.
Um
It's not fair to say younger me, yes, older me, hell no, because when you
no,
get
what I
older,
mean by
you be so quick to be like,
no, but I mean, and so for me, that's a little different, right? So
uh,
younger me, it was no, I'm not doing it because it's not safe.
okay.
It's not structured. It's not safe. It involves me being vulnerable, right? I got two little kids. I can't make those moves. I got to make realistic moves that make sense
Mm,
because it's not just me, it's me and two other little people that's involved.
okay.
So that's why I said younger me no, because unless it was literally an easy path, I wasn't taking it.
Mm, okay. So, like I was saying earlier, right? Sometimes we need these huge displays before we pay attention, right? And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be spiritual. It don't have to be dramatic, but uh, we struggle with the simple. You feel misalignment. Um, you won't acknowledge you're unhappy. You feel like you never get enough sleep, right? You know when you're lying to yourself. I hope you do.
Oh,
Hope you
I do.
ain't. I hope you're not on the Donald Trump level. Like if you know, when you lie so much you believe the lie type shit.
What,
Sometimes when we lie to ourselves, we know we're lying to ourselves.
man, I know a couple people like that. But yeah, this is that's another episode. So
Okay.
I don't lie to myself where I lie so much that I believe my lies.
You know when I know you know when I'm really feeling misalignment. I am I am dumb tired. Like when I'm off, my go to trigger response, my body trauma response is to try to go to sleep and sleep it away. Like wake up and poof pow, my problems are gone.
For me, and this is me being vulnerable because we you talked about those missed moments. I felt like for me, I really deal with depression when I don't follow what is suit, and I push so hard that I had not, like, yeah, isolate, but no, I really isolate. I'm in my room. I'm
Uh-huh.
not doing anything.
Right.
I'm not, like, I am miserable,
Okay.
miserable. And um yeah, I remember being in New Jersey just like crying every day, like every day, about how miserable, and I didn't want to be there.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't that I didn't want to be there because I made the wrong decision, right? I was
Hmm.
in a job, like I was in a job that um it made good money, but I didn't stick up for myself in the decisions where um I was playing it safe, right? You know, I
Hmm.
didn't say how I felt until the end, and I can't discuss things because I signed, paperwork. So
You getting NDAs out here? God damn. Oh shit, not an NDA. You get NDAs.
I can't say how bad things were. It's a great place to work.
Ugh, Jesus Christ, not
but
NDAs.
but things were that bad. But it could have been better, but because of the money, I'll say that, right? I
Mm-hmm.
knew the things that I wanted to do. There were career paths that I knew I should have took,
Mm-hmm.
but because of the, okay, if I don't get this, or if I do get this after the 90 days, or the possibilities of getting fired, where I think we all in COVID realized that anybody can get let go. You know, Nobody's safe, but that's what I thought.
No one is safe out here.
I thought I was safe. So it was because I was safe, the money was good. I
Mm-hmm.
was miserable. I was
Miserable.
miserable. Like I would break out in hives and everything at work. I was so bad. It was really bad.
Wow.
And I because I wouldn't listen. And I knew I had to get out, but it was just like I couldn't.
Mm.
Well, I could. I chose not to.
Chose not to.
I chose not to. So that's a better way to say it. I chose not to.
Okay.
So no,
Um.
there are missed moments where I see it, like physically it hits me.
Hey, your body know.
Yep.
For your brain kick in, your body be knowing. Your body be knowing. All right. So here's the big question. Money, million money question time. What happens after the big reveal?
I would say the relief, right? Um
Madness happens. That's
Madness
what truly happens. Madness happens. You know why? Because we still don't listen. After the big reveal, we still don't listen. And we do the same shit over and over again until
but
that
there
bitch
is some
kicks us
relief.
down.
No,
Until
no,
it kicks us
not all the
down.
time. Not all
No.
the time.
That's the whole reason niggas give you that whole speech about the definition of madness.
Every some stuff I would say in the move,
You do know
right?
what madness is, right?
You listen to the same thing, yeah, all that.
Right. They can't wait to tell you that shit because you sometimes, you don't get to the after the realization. But when you finally do,
It feels good.
mm,
This was the scariest move, but yet it was one of the best moves so far.
Mm.
But this was a challenge. You know, like I said, I am miles away from,
So there's freeing.
yes.
There need to be action though.
You do. You still gotta keep doing the work. Just because I'm in
No, no, no. You didn't keep
action.
doing the work. If it's after the realization, you got to start doing the work.
Well, that's what I meant. You gotta
Okay.
start doing it. I keep meaning you listen. That's the first. So
Okay. All
that's
right.
what I
In
mean by
in in
keep.
this order.
In this order.
In
You,
this order.
you listened,
Okay.
you followed directions,
Mm-hmm.
you're here. Now you have to keep doing the work to still be in this space and still listen. Because
Right.
we still doubt ourselves. I do it all the time. This was me a couple of weeks ago. We still doubt ourselves of those epiphanies, those moments. We still get scared. Like, now I ain't out here like I'm good. Like, even right now with some of the stuff that I'm got going on right now with me starting a business, that is a big move,
Right.
a very scary move.
Right.
And I'm seeing signs, you know.
I
I
saw signs.
Even with me shifting to really focus on my business and not helping others and doing the consulting work, right? And really independently doing my things. That's a scary moment because I don't have something to lean back on, like that excuse.
Okay.
Well, it was them, not me. Now I'm in it. Now my employees are 100% relying on me to make sure we good.
So what are some actionable items after the realization? What's some actionable items? You got to make shit like doable. You got to be applicable. What's some
Um,
actionable items? What's some realistic actionable items?
um, Still do the work, the leg work. If you're spiritual, trust God, pray, fast, that's what, we
Okay.
say in the church.
Okay.
Pray and fast. I always say do routines. Try to start a routine, like trying to keep that momentum going, right? Because that's what happens. Like the momentum is there, and then when things slow down, it's like, what am I supposed to do? Really get into routine and stay focused. I mean, it's always hard to stay focused, but really start a routine. Try to keep positive people around you. It's not,
Hmm.
you don't have to have, like we talked about, friendships, right? All the circle, you can have a little ratchet circle too, but you know, have those like-minded people, I always say. Because when you don't have like-minded people around you, that's when a lot of doubt does come in. You know, I don't say be around like-minded people all the time. I don't know if you froze or not, because you
I'm here.
okay, because you
I'm here.
still a little bit.
I'm here.
I'm not saying like you gotta stay with the group all the time, and that's what I mean. Because I don't mean ratchet like that. I mean that like people think, oh, I gotta hang with this group all the time. No, still have like mentors. That's one thing. We don't realize how important it is to have somebody that is a mentor or someone we can talk to. Because it may not always be about therapy all the time. You just need somebody to uplift you because your therapist is going to give you what you need. And what I mean by what you need is what you need to do the work, right? They aren't your friend.
Okay.
So they're not always going to give you
You heard that, world? Your therapist is not your bestie.
no. So you can't rely on you, and you know what I mean, because sometimes you want your therapist to say something like,
No, I'm talking to some specific people. Your therapist is not your bestie.
"Oh,
Stop getting advice. She's
oh,
supposed to give an objective opinion.
oh,
And she out here telling you how you should be living and making
no,
decisions based off her own shitty
no,
life.
that
Your
part. Oh
therapy
my
is not your bestie.
God. I'm sorry. I did. I did
Listen,
not
you got
know
to switch it up
you
sometimes.
are. I'm so sorry.
You gotta switch it up sometimes. I'm on my fourth therapist. You gotta switch it up sometimes. You gotta get some different perspectives, yo. You gotta get a woman therapist. You gotta get a man therapist. You gotta get a other.
Yeah.
You know, you need a different therapist for different shit in your life. You don't need the same one. You out here, you're talking about hitting your therapist up, talking about some tacos and tequila tonight.
Sorry. Yeah. Get therapist
Your therapist is not your bestie.
because that's when the stuff gets tainted, though. Like you said, now I'm giving you advice as your friend, and the clinical and the work that you need to do is gone at one point. You know, yeah, you can be friends with your therapist, but if you do, find a new one and
Find a
let
new
your
one. Your
and let your
therapist is not your bestie.
I'm sorry,
Your
whoever.
bestie is your bestie. Lose the therapist.
I mean, you can keep the therapist as a friend, but
He can't be your therapist no more.
do you know? Oh my gosh, when we get to the end, a little bit after I say this positive thing, I was uh listening to the Reddit, am I, a
Am I
a-hole?
asshole?
Yeah.
You can't
And
say it.
you know how I am. Leave me alone.
am am I the asshole for saying it? You can't say it.
I respect my elders. There are some people that,
Who in there?
I mean, my grandparents can be looking, and I'm grown. Yes, I still respect people like that.
Granny smoke cools.
Whatever.
Granny smoke cools. My
No.
grandma smoked cools. She cools and Jack Daniels, and used to put on the electric
Oh my
slide
gosh.
on the
Well,
45.
that is not my grandparents. So no. Um, but like I was
It's
saying,
electric.
is that you still got to do the work. We
Mhm.
need to learn ourselves. I feel like we don't learn enough about ourselves, in moments that we're always going to doubt, but we really need to get to know who you are. You got to know what your likes are. You got to know the new you do the old things that you do. Is that still a thing, or find new things to do?
All right, we tell people all the time that they got to do that,
Right.
right? But we don't tell them the other parts of it. So all that,
I
all that stuff Tasha says is right, right? But here's what the real work is. First thing first is your ass got to sit in that discomfort sometimes.
Yeah,
You can't
that's
run
the
from it. You
that's
can't
yourself.
find
You didn't
distractions.
know yourself
Some of
that
y'all in that. Some of y'all in there building whole new houses inside your house because you run to distractions. You got to sit in that discomfort. You know how you know a person can't sit in discomfort? Let a phone call go silent for like 20 seconds and see who freaks out the first. Right? Um, yeah, definitely got to stay away from the distractions. Hey, ladies, fellas, sex is a distraction. I know it feel good, but sometimes it's a distraction.
it is.
Right? And the more in the dumps you are, the more hypersexual you are, especially if you're a male.
But that's
Hypersexual.
that goes back to that first part of the discomfort because some people don't like to be alone.
They don't like to be alone. Ladies, you think an unemployed dick is the best? No, it's depressed dick.
Oh my god.
Ladies, depressed nigga will fuck the shit out you. Okay.
Next point, please.
Um another a part of sitting in discomfort is also being able to have hard conversations without
I'm
this.
still working on those.
Without this right here. This part right here is so important to not do this.
Oh, I don't point the finger at anybody.
I mean, but you do when you do whatabouts.
I don't do whatabouts.
You don't do whatabouts? He's so strong. That's what's up. A lot of people do whatabouts.
I don't do
You'll
what.
be expressing yourself. Well, what about when you do this?
No, I don't do whatabouts. That's what I was like. I don't do a whatabout.
Uh, or what
That's
about that?
but
Or what
that's why
about
I
this and that?
said, my toxic was I'm gonna get all the truth in it, and that
Uh,
Gemini and be like, bam.
Okay.
It ain't what about is you did this, that,
Right.
and I can't be with you because you gonna try to play me. So I'm out.
Now,
But even before that, I never did what about.
all right.
I never did what about.
So we gotta have the hard conversations. Okay. Um. Oh, here's a big one. Y'all ready? You ready?
I'm scared.
Changed behavior.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
At some point, you gotta stop saying that's just me.
No,
Change behavior, people.
that
You
was
want, you
the.
know, the best apology? Change behavior.
That's why I said learning you. You know that was that. Yeah.
Nah, I mean that's bigger than learning you. It's change behavior. Maybe it's unlearning you too.
That's what I just said. It may do. I was trying to say it nicely. The new you
Nah,
is
nigga, unravel that shit, yo, unravel that crooked you.
being nice. You know.
Fuck being nice. The fuck. This ain't a nice podcast. This is we out here having these hard ass conversations for you. Change your behavior, bro. Like you gotta factory reset, my dude. Take the cartridge out and blow on it. Got there,
Right.
pull the power switch out and wait 30 seconds. You need a hard reset.
Definitely hard reset.
Change your behaviors. All right. Now, my favorite word in all the world right now is what?
What accountability?
Accountability.
Why did? How did
Right.
I know? How did I know?
But here's what I'm saying. This ain't coming from me for this one, but the accountability is not in the other person before it is in yourself.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
You
I'll
know,
say it one more time for the people in the GED
I would
section.
say that
The
I'm.
accountability can't be across from you
It's you.
before it is in yourself.
It's you. Exactly.
Right. Okay. Right. Before you try forcing it on someone else and shit. Like, where's yours? Because if you had true accountability, you would have never put yourself in that situation in the first place. Ooh, drink on that. Drink on that. Okay. So what's harder? The epiphany or the after part?
The
Because
after is the hardest.
once you know you're responsible, right?
Yep, yep. That's why we ignore it. Because if we ignore it, it's gonna go away. What we
No,
think,
some niggas live in that lie. Some niggas live in that lie. They
we
they
think it's
just
gonna go away.
they just they get out of realization. Say like, nope,
I don't see
not
it.
me.
It'll
I
be
was
right
just
there,
tripping. I needed a
right there,
nap.
right
I
here,
needed a
right
nap. I
there,
needed a
right
nap. Oh, I needed a trip to Tulum. I was just tripping. I needed a trip to Tulum. I
there.
was
It'll
good.
literally be right here. Be like, nah, I don't.
Nah.
It ain't right here.
Excuse me. I'm trying to
Let me just
look.
move you out the
I'm
way.
trying to look here. No, no.
You in the
Excuse
way.
me. Okay.
It's always the word. It's always the word. And
Mm,
nobody's perfect. We still make mistakes. And it's okay, but that's where the accountability part comes in, right? Because
mm,
it's still okay. No one is perfect. Like we this this perfection, yes,
mm.
things get better, but nothing is perfect, right?
Right.
So it's okay when you fall, you know. It's okay if you made a mistake. It's okay if you slide back and them did something. It's okay. After those moments, what is the choice? Do you, all right, I messed up,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep doing bad, or all right, I messed up, I learned, I'm accepting accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me continue to do the steps for it not to happen again, or if it does happen, I know how to kind of get through
Mm.
it to make it a little better.
I would love to hear from the folks out there, if they in there listening or they in the chat boxes. First of all, what do you call it? You call it the big epiphany? Do
I
you
know
call
it's somebody on Facebook or YouTube. I'm
do
not sure,
you get
which one.
is it the gut feeling? Have you ever ignored one before? That's a big one. Um, ooh, what's the truth? What actually let me ask you this. What's the truth you took the longest to accept about yourself?
What you mean? I don't know. That's hard. What?
What truth about yourself took you the longest to accept? Am I the
No, not even no,
drama?
not even that. Because I always know I know I'm a whole red flag. Sometimes I do. I do.
Okay.
The truth, and I'm being honest in these moments, is that I can complete tasks, right? Um, that I'm a little bit. I am smarter than what I think I am. You
I
know,
think I am. I think I am.
and no, what I mean by that is like example graduating,
Uh huh.
right? I accepted me not graduating college.
Mm,
I accepted it.
okay.
I accepted that I wasn't. I said, well, maybe it is too hard, you know.
Mm,
Um, maybe being a dropout, that's what it is. Like maybe I am a C average, student where right before I graduated, I was on dean's list the last year, right
mm.
before I graduated. And that I was like, when I got that email saying I was on the dean's list, I was like, hold on, me, me? I'm like, my freshman year, I had a whole 1 point. Who knows?
My
No,
lowest
I
GPA
was
was a 176, yo. It was
I
a
was on I was on
176.
academic probation.
176, nigga. They was like, we taking your financial aid. We
That part,
taking
that's what I said. I was on
it. Give it
academic
up.
probation. So for me to get the email to get invited to the ceremony and all that, that's what I mean. And I have to realize, like, I remember as a kid, I was accepted, like, I got accepted to the School of Science.
Mhm.
But I think because of where the location may have been, my parents didn't want me to go. I'm always been an artist. So I always thought that, drawing and writing would be my thing. But, my degree is a bachelor's in science. So I always have to remember that I am a little bit smarter than what I think I am. Even though everybody say I'm smart, I don't I doubt that a lot. Like even now writing a lot of the stuff that I've been writing, I'm like, hold on. I do have it. So just the confidence in me, right? Just being more confident in myself. It took time for me to realize that. Don't put hands up, don't choke, hands up, hands up. I can't help you. I don't know. Where's Darius? Like if something happened, we cook, like Dana said, we cook if something happened to you over there.
I'm good. I'm alive.
Okay. Because I'm like,
I'll go mute so you won't hear it on camera.
I don't
It's
know where you at.
the
I
mute
think
get
you
hit
hear
real quick.
yeah, I don't, you know,
Don't ever lose focus. Keep going. I'm gonna die. Just be dying over here in the corner, like, ooh, keep going.
but no,
Um,
I doubted myself a lot. I've
mm,
always because of some of the challenges that I've always dealt with. Me just like maneuvering through school. I was always an A B student. You know, but there were times when I did. After my mom passed away, it was kind of like, what am I supposed to do? I had this whole, I'm going to school for art, I'm going to New York, I'm gonna be an artist, I'm a journalist, I'm gonna write for Vibe magazine. I had all these things that I wanted to do. And when I went to Norfolk State, I'm being honest, I I didn't choose. I'll say this. Shout out to Smoke, Levi. I can't think of, you know who she is. She was everybody on SGA that is, your time and not my time. Um, Norfolk State came to Huguenot, right? And even when I was at Huguenot, I would like be in the library. Most of the time, I isolated myself because I didn't want to be in Richmond, and so I remember Norfolk State had came there, and they mentioned the MEAC because remember the MEAC used to be in Richmond,
Used to be in
right?
Richmond.
And
Coliseum.
and they all had came, and at that time they only had like certain people that got to sit with them because I remember when Joe Claire had came to the school, only certain people who may have won whatever got to sit with the people. And I just started asking questions, and I think it was either Levi had said something. I don't think Levi had said something like, hey, we going to the MEAC, and he said it to the group, so it wasn't just me. But I asked something, and they were like, we're going to the MEAC, and if you guys want to come out, you guys can definitely sit with us. And I was like, whatever, okay. So I was like, let me go. I don't got nothing else to do. End up going, finding them in the section they was in. And I said, and that's how I was introduced to Norfolk State. I didn't know what a Norfolk State was. And it's funny, I didn't even know what a Norfolk State was. And I remember everybody that was active in the SGA then when Kirk and all of them were a part of the SGA. And I was like, they cool, and that's when I kind of was like, well, maybe I should look into this school. And I remember going in and joining the SGA, my freshman year, and like everybody literally remembered who I was. It wasn't no, oh, we just trying to get the kids in, and I was involved with SGA, I think up until my like junior year, like literally right before I got, pregnant with my son. But um that is what got me there because again, the confidence, I didn't get accepted to Temple, and there's some stuff behind that. But when things didn't go my way, that path, that new path, we talk about the new path and being afraid to take the new path. And I know for a while it was just like, I'm here. But no, Norfolk State definitely supported me in these spaces, and to go back, because I know I needed therapy when I first got in because, I lost my mom, I lost my stepfather. I think, I should have took a break, and, therapy wasn't a thing then, so struggling, trying to go through my GPA being horrible because I'm like, I'm here. So, when I did make the dean's list and got that email, it was just like, oh, I can graduate. I can do it. So yeah, y'all just know I had like a 1 point something. Like put it like this: when I came back, I had literally like a 2, a 3 because my GPA was so trash that all these straight A's that I was getting, I still graduated with a 3. I think yeah, 3.0, a little bit over a 3.0. I can't hear you. You muted. You muted.
Hold on.
Okay, there
You
you go.
picked up your GPA where you left it at.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I had to work to bring that bad boy back up. That's why I said when I made the dean's list, right the last year. Yeah, I
um,
think my senior year is when I made the dean's list because into my junior, I had to literally get like all A's, like literally
but
all
your
my grades.
semester GPAs was fire.
Yes, but that overall, but I still graduated with a 3.0
Right.
overall. Yeah.
Um, we talk about change behavior. We talk about sitting in discomfort, having hard conversations and stuff like that. And we talk about life after the realization. In the moment of any realization, I mean, I think you mentioned, you said it felt more freeing than
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest ways that people fall off their wagon is that they, um, it's not clarity. It's disruption because you got to start doing stuff. You got to move stuff, and so you want to run back to that comfort. That disruption is scary. So it's easier to just say, you know what, I'm just stay over here. I'll
But
be all
that's
right.
the part where you say to change, because technically, when that epiphany happens, you are a changed person.
You are old change behavior,
Yeah.
but you could be a changed person and still resort to the other
And
parties,
that's
right?
but that's why it feels uncomfortable, because you're so comfortable doing the things. Because that's always the thing, is getting, I still feel uncomfortable in spaces, but
Yeah.
then I have to reassure myself that you got to do it
Okay.
in order to keep the results the way they are. Gotta talk to yourself sometimes.
Yeah. So, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I say this, if you guys feel that light bulb or that little shove, or that, it's time to make a change, trust yourself. You know, we call it epiphany. Is self-awareness. Like, trust yourself in those moments, and know that sometimes you have to change. Sometimes you need those shifts. If you feel like you're too old, you're just comfortable because of how old you may be, or you think like it's too late. It's never too late to make change. It's never too late to be positive. It's never too late
It's never too late.
to make yourself happy.
Right.
Whatever makes you happy. And I know we deal with a lot of our issues, our past and stuff like that. It's okay to to be outside of what's comfortable, right?
Mm.
Sometimes we got to make a shift. I think it's a book. I have it. I'll probably pull it out. I think shift is one that I have. But
Mm.
sometimes we got to be uncomfortable,
Definitely got to
um,
be uncomfortable.
because when you're not uncomfortable, it's not gonna happen. Trust me.
Right.
It is. You know how they say the storm and stuff. You got to weather the storm, right? You
Mm.
know, you got to weather, and it's okay to be afraid.
Pain is a sign of living, folks.
It is okay to be afraid, but you can do it. I know that you can do it. That's my thoughts.
Let's see. I'm gonna keep it short and brief. Your therapist is not your bestie.
I'm sorry, whoever that is.
Anyway, um, my biggest one. Uh, you had your realization.
Hmm.
You're willing to put in the work. And I say this wholeheartedly to all you out there. Forgive yourself.
Yes,
Forgive yourself for every decision you made when you was in survival mode. Forgive yourself. Give yourself love. Give yourself grace. And forgive yourself.
definitely.
All right? That's my that's my word of wisdom.
And where can they find you?
You can find me at my shit is pure comedy on IG and YouTube.
And you can find me at Natasha Renee underscore the creator. Make sure you guys are following us on YouTube at In the Moment with Natasha Renee. Please hit that subscribe button. Subscribe, please. Also, make sure again that you guys are listening and coming back and replaying these episodes. I feel like it's a lot of good stuff in here, and we don't want to waste it.
Don't want to waste it.
Don't want to. But thank you guys so much. We had a good turnout. I can kind of see on both sides. I'm not sure about Facebook and TikTok or anything, but it's definitely people tuning in over there on Instagram.
Okay. All right.
So thank you guys so much. We will see you next Wednesday.
Peace.
Give me a second because I gotta expand the screen to see how to end this.